Why is it that children working in family businesses have zero authority? I was talking to one of my clients the other day who's a successor in a family business. Their father is their father's company, and they're struggling with this most common thing that I hear from most people. They're like, I've got years and years of experience in this business. I've got all these qualifications. I know as much, I know enough to run the business. I've been working in it for so many years and stuff, but I still have to wait for my dad to make the final decision on almost every move. And it's a story that I hear oh so often with working with generational business. There's a few reasons, and I just want to talk through today a couple of those reasons why the founders won't let go of decisions, right? Because most business owners assume that growing their business is about, I'll employ someone else to do the work, but I'll still have complete control of the business because I'm the owner. The problem is okay, you may be a business owner, but you're not a leader. You haven't fully evolved as a leader. Look, you've done the first stage of evolution of, passing on the work or the execution to someone else. That's great. But now, all of the next bottleneck of the work was the bottleneck now, or the bottleneck is the decisions. Now everything has to go through you. That's the next stage of evolution that you need to go through as a leader. Now, I suppose today I want to really talk to those successors. And I just want to give you some context as to why your dad or your mum or whoever it is that's running the business does this. But also, I want to share with you some things that might just reaffirm and reassure you what you're feeling. So let's get into it. So let's look at, first of all, what's the fear that's driving this? Because there is a fear that is behind why they're doing this. This is not strategic in any way. It comes down to a fear. And that fear is losing control. Now, they used to be really hands-on running the business. And so that's how they controlled everything, controlled the quality, controlled the output, controlled everything because they had to do. But they had the revelation, they evolved as a leader and realized, I can't be doing all of the work, so I need to take that next step. But I need to still have that control. And the only way I can control quality, control output, control production is by making sure I'm still in control of the decisions. They fear being undermined. They fear maybe someone knows more than me. Now, I know that there is a big insecurity there that comes from founders that they want to keep all the decisions to themselves because there is a little bit that they are afraid that someone might know more than them. But the thing is as a leader, I shouldn't need to know everything. My team should know more than me. That's a great leader. If I'm employing the people that are better at doing what they do, making the decisions, everything like that, then that's so much better than me having to know everything because I don't know everything. So because they have this fear, they centralize the decision making. And the problem is that centralization causes bottlenecks. Because if there's anything in the business that's centralized, that's a bottleneck. So what do the team learn because of the founder making all the decisions? Well, what you'll find is the team stops making decisions. This team stops taking initiative. As soon as the founder stops, they stop. Why? Because there's no point. Because if I work on something and the founder comes in and changes his mind on something or cuts down, makes all that work irrelevant, why would I do it? So they end up just sitting back and being really passive, just waiting for the boss to tell them what to do. And then they pretty much just become lemmings. And then you own a business full of lemmings. And so that's not healthy for a team because you may employ awesome people that know a lot about what they do. But if you start taking decisions away from them, start taking initiatives away from them, start changing things that they've already done, they stop thinking. Let me tell you this. I used to be really, really, really good at math. I used to be able to literally look at a math problem. Actually, in school, you know how you're meant to do your working out and show you working out to come to an answer, and you don't get the marks for the question until you show the working. I had teachers that would allow me not to show the working because I proved to them that I could just literally look at a question and come up with the answer. I used to be almost genius level when it came to math until there was a bit of a Ray Williams Johnson in me there. Until I started using a calculator. Yep. Right now, you could ask me the most basic mathematical equation and I'll be like, let me just grab my phone and I'll write it and I'll calculate it. Because if you don't use it, you lose it. And that's just the same with teams that aren't allowed to make decisions. They lose it. They'll just become lemmings and just become brain dead in their work. And so sons and daughters that are working for their dads in their dad's business, what does this mean for you? What does this mean for you as a successor? You've been trained. You've been developed. You are going to be taking over this business at some point where, who knows? But you want to make sure that the business is at a good point for you to take it over. And you want to be able to contribute to that business along the way as well, don't you? You care. And this is the biggest challenge that founders don't realize, is that they think you're trying to just take over. They think that you're trying to knock them off. They think that this is a hostile takeover. But it's not. It's because you care. You actually value what your father or mother has actually built. That you value that they have spent years building this, blood, sweat, and tears, provide you great education, provide you a great lifestyle, but also give you a great platform for you to then build upon. You're not trying to do a hostile takeover. You're trying to release them. You're trying to say, hey, look, you've done a great job. Let us take over. Because what the founders don't realize is your children have seen you make decisions ever since they were babies. They know how you think. They know how you make decisions. They are literally the best people to take over the organization if you give them the authority to make some decisions. Because here's the thing. You're afraid that they're going to make a wrong decision. They've learned from you. So if they're going to make a wrong decision, it's because you have taught them poorly. They have seen you make all the tough decisions. They've seen you over the family dinner table complaining about what a staff member did or what a client did or what the challenge is with a business. And they've seen you, they've sat in. I know as a kid, I went to business meetings with my dad all the time. I was a fly on the wall and I saw it from a young age. And I know that you have, as founders, you've taken your kids to those meetings too. They've been a part of things. They've seen, they've absorbed. So they actually know way more than you actually think that they do. They are not, stop looking at them as if they are just your little kids, your little babies. They're not, they're grown up, they're adults now. They've got families, they've built their own life, right? They've worked for you. They've gone and studied and acquired more knowledge than you. Not that they're better than you. It's just every generation builds on the next. You've built a great platform. You paid for their education. They've now gotten to a point where let them make some decisions. Give them some freedom to make decisions, because what will happen if you don't? They'll walk out. Now, here's the thing. You probably think, oh, they'll never leave. No, you're right. They might never leave. They might never leave physically. But they'll do this, what they call the great quiet quit, where people nowadays are turning up to work in body, but not in mind. They'll turn up and they'll just do the bare minimum. They'll stop caring. And what sort of a legacy is that going to build? What do you think is going to happen the moment you need them to take over? They're going to be switched off. They're not going to care anymore. The business probably would have started running itself down by then. Give them some authority. And this is the evolution. The evolution of a leader from authority. That authority needs to be moved away from the center. Now, not chaotically, not just, I'm not making any decisions anymore. Obviously within frameworks. Set certain people that you trust to make specific decisions within certain frameworks. Set structures. You have authority to make a decision of things that cost this much money. You have a decision to make a decision about anything around this department. You have an authority to make a decision about whatever that doesn't impact, whatever. Set the parameters, but start releasing that authority. Because it can't be centralized, because while it's still centralized, the business is still heavily dependent on you, and your team and your children are becoming demoralized, demotivated. And what will happen is that'll be like a cancer that'll grow and become a toxic culture within your organization. So please, founders, evolve as leaders. Delegate some of that authority. Successors, please, be patient. They have been doing this for a long time, and you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, you can. It just takes them a while to learn it, okay? So be patient with them. And so I hope that's helped you understand a little bit from both sides, what both sides are actually thinking when it comes to the evolution of authority as leaders.